greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography. We're old friends and fans come together, BS, argue, occasionally agree, and discuss a musical artist. This week, we're talking Black Sabbath. This was Tim's pick. This is Sabbath Sunday. We have been in Sabbath Sunday for I don't know how fucking long, but we finally
This
made
will
it
be the 10th
halfway.
week.
We've made it halfway, and we're talking Mob Rules. I'm Jason. With me is Tim
If you listen to fools.
and Bill.
Mob Rules.
As you can see, there's our current rankings. If you missed all these videos, go check out our playlist link Rant channel. We apologize for the week delay, but International Noise Conspiracy took up our Sunday, so hopefully you checked that video out. All right, let's talk Mob Rules. Tim, you want to kick us off with Mob Rules?
Sure. So second album with Dio. First album without Bill Ward. So Bill quit during the Heaven and Hell tour. So Vinny Appice is on drums here. And hey,
Okay, I gotta change my notes. I didn't know that.
okay, yeah, no Bill Ward here. He will come back, but this ends up being the definitive Dio lineup for Sabbath, and we've got two more albums with this lineup.
Two more Dio albums after Mob Rules?
Yes, but not immediately after.
No.
They're kind of peppered in.
Oh, okay. Well, I can handle that.
Yeah,
oh my
they're peppered.
gosh.
I can handle that.
And I won't say where I rank this one compared to the other Dio albums until we get there, where it'll be pretty obvious. But starting off with Turn Up the Night, I think that song rips. Voodoo's okay. The Sign of the Southern Cross, I do like, but it also feels like they're just trying to redo Children of the Sea. E5150 is, another fun little Tony Iommi soundscape. I do think it's interesting that we've beaten Eddie Van Halen to the 5150 concept here by a couple years. And that leads into the title track, The Mob Rules, which, I mean, that's a top song contender. That song rips. And then you get into this B-side, Country Girl's okay, Slipping Away's okay. And then you get Falling Off the Edge of the World. I think that song rips. That one's really good. And then Over and Over, I think, is also really good. It's I don't know if it works as a closer, but I think it works in relationship to where Tony Iommi is going to head as far as getting really doomy. So it works for me. Jeff Nichols is fully in the band now. He's doing all the keyboards. I think it was Slipping Away, where they had a little bass guitar back and forth. I thought that was really good. Easer sounds great on here. Martin Birch produces this one. He did Heaven and Hell. He's also about to, kick a whole bunch of ass with some Iron Maiden albums for the rest of the decade. We talked on Heaven and Hell, like Heaven and Hell versus Blizzard of Oz, which I'm not really sure about that one. That's a tough choice. But if it comes down to Mob,
for our live stream, because we're gonna live stream that shit real soon.
I can't wait. That'll be fun. I'm not sure where I end up on that. But if we're putting Mob Rules up against Diary of a Madman, I know 100% which one I'm picking there, and
I know which one I'm picking on that one.
We're doing Heaven and Hell versus Diary of a Madman.
Well, no, you can't. You got to do Heaven and Hell versus Blizzard of Oz.
Oh.
Yeah. Precursor to the album of the decade 80s when we get to that one.
Oh, 80's is going to be a tough year. Tough
That's
year.
just suck.
Um, yeah, I like Dio and Black Sabbath. I like Vinny Appice and Black Sabbath. Especially coming after Heaven and Hell, though. I think this one feels a little more, I mean, I hate to use the word rock and roll. So maybe we'll say a little generic. It kind of feels like some of these songs were just thrown together. When it works, I think it works great. And of course, Tony Iommi's guitar tone is god tier, sounds great. Yeah, that's all I got before I rank it. What do you guys got?
Okay. True story.
Really happened.
A true story.
Oh, I will point out before you tell your true story, I'm pretty sure this is Jack Black's favorite Black Sabbath album.
Well, I mean, Jack Black's a fucking dumbass anyway.
Just throwing it out.
He introduced a generation to rock and roll.
He introduced a generation to Dio.
Yeah. Dio, can you hear me? I'm lost and so
Not
alone.
my generation. I already knew about rock and roll before Jack Black fucking...
Right.
Whatever. So Mob Rules. True story. I went into this. I saw that album cover, and I remember when I looked at it, I was like, my notes are going to start with, at least the album art's good. This is great album art. But then I listened to the
And
record.
there is like a hidden thing in the bottom there where apparently somewhere it says kill Ozzy.
I think that's just a bunch of fucking stoner metal kids like making shit up. Show me where that's
I think
at.
it is too, but it's a real thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
Whether it's made up,
it's just
but it's a real thing.
Library or
yeah,
or something.
Paul is dead. Paul is dead. You know,
Yeah,
one of those type
exactly.
things.
Exactly.
All right, Turn Up the Night. It's a better opening than Heaven. The guitar riffs are cool. Dio sounds better as well. It doubles down on that 80s cheesy hair metal vocally, but it's good 80s hair metal, I guess. Still has a really few bad vocal melodies in parts where he can't quite fit the lyrics in and it feels forced, but overall, I didn't mind it. It's better than the opening for Heaven and Hell. Speaking of bad vocal melodies, you got Voodoo. The verses are just filled with bad shit. The music is fire, though. The Sign of the Southern Cross. If the biggest crime in rock and roll is that the Ramones never made it big, the second biggest crime in rock and roll is Ozzy leaving Sabbath. I would have loved to have heard what Ozzy would have done with this one. Doesn't hold up to early Sabbath 8-minute long songs, but it's decent. E5150, weird Tommy electronic instrumental shit, nothing new, whatever. Mob Rules, nothing new. I do think Dio is sounding better on this album. I was getting some Dave Mustaine vibes though, but I disagree on Country Girl. My notes say the production of this album is really flat. I noticed it with the bass, especially on this one. It's super flat across the board. I was listening to the 2008 remaster, if that matters. I don't know.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't. If anything, the remasters sound better.
Besides that, though, this is the first Dio song that I would consider potentially being a top song contender.
Wow, Country Girl.
Country Girl?
Country
like
Girl.
track 6.
No, track 9. The lyrics were really dumb.
I mean, I can see track 9.
But they were dumb in a fun way. The slowed down 80s bridge going on was pretty good. Even Dio's melodies. Dio was actually doing some good shit on Country Girl. Slipping Away felt like filler. Nothing new. Nothing really stood out. Falling Over the Edge of the World. That was a super weird one. Some of it was pretty hippie, super pretty hippie shit. Some of it was super heavy Sabbath. Some of it was new 80s metal Sabbath. And it was only 5 minutes long. Not sure how I felt about this one at first. But by the end, it won me over. I really liked the shit they did when he sang, "You know, I've seen the faces of doom and I'm only a man." The music there was really good. And the closing track, the drums really stand out here. The bass still sounded super flat. The production still meh. I think I actually liked "Lonely Is the Word" better. Over and over. Zeppelin's "Heartbreaker" played right after it, and damn, is that a good fucking song.
Yes, it is.
Stick around for our Zeppelin discography. That's my notes from all the rules.
Well, I mean, I guess I can follow that up here. So Heaven and Hell, as I said, that was my introduction to non-Nazi Black Sabbath. And I was introduced to that before we did this whole deep dive. This one was a new album for me, though, completely. I wasn't familiar with any of the songs going in, and after giving it a listen the first time, I can kind of see why. Um, like Tony Iommi, every single one of these songs, he's still ripping on his. I will say his E5150. It was interesting instrumentally and still good. I don't know if it's something that I wanted at this point now anymore.
No, it's just a repeat and rehash of shit they've already done.
Like what? I mean, as I said, like it still sounds good. It's just like I want something. I want to say different because we got Dio singing. That's different enough for me. That's enough change. I mean,
Sure.
Let me ask
We got
this:
rid of
you have the vinyl copy, right? Where's the A side B side split? Is it 4/8, 4/9, 5/9?
It's the Mob Rules and Country Girl. Country Girl starts side 2.
Okay.
I mean, I will agree with Tim from the standpoint for me. I'll listen to side A of this probably all day long, honestly. Side B though, I mean, Jason,
It's a
you
bit
can
of a
like
mixed
Country
bag.
Girl. If you want Country Girl on the top songs, that's all you from me. Only because I got enough other stuff that I need to put on there.
Yeah, you got to
I
put
got to
Heaven and Hell
represent.
on there. I ain't putting shit from Heaven and Hell. That album's trash.
I've got at least 2 songs from Heaven and Hell that'll probably make my list.
That's good.
That's
That
because I
album's
got to pick
trash.
other songs from other albums to fill up the list.
The color code will tell all.
I mean, not none of these songs are bad still. It's still a Black Sabbath album. You still have Iommi ripping it. Dio on vocals, as much as Jason hates Dio vocals. Dio's vocals are still amazing on this record.
He is better on this record than the first one, yeah.
Highly recommend Rainbow Rising. Before he even joined Sabbath, he was in a band called Rainbow with Richie Blackmore from Deep
I recommend
Purple.
Holy Diver.
Well, that's after this.
That's after this.
Well, some people get
Remember,
better
we got to do this.
Some people get better over time.
So remember that's why we had to do Black Sabbath before we did some of these solo careers because.
Well, and we didn't put it on the notable releases because you can only do so many live albums. But after this one, they put out their Live Evil album. And that is the album that broke up this lineup. I guess, there's a lot of drugs going on in the Black Sabbath world at this time. And
we've been saying this since the fucking beginning, though. I mean, if you can't
going to be the last time I say it.
If you can't hang, you
Considering
can't hang.
Ozzy's going to come back, and it came out that he was really high the entire time he did that album. So,
Ozzy high shit.
I know, right?
Thought.
I know. But apparently Tony and Geezer would go in and like mix the live album, and then they'd leave, and then Ronnie and Vinny would come in and mix, but they like nobody was like agreeing, so it got pretty ugly. Um,
Oh, when we rank it, I'll go over some other stuff a little bit more. I will say for me, Turn Up the Night, at least it isn't, those initial Black Sabbath albums openers, but it is still a solid opener.
yeah, it works, especially
Yep.
for this album.
Yes. Is it top five Sabbath openers? No. But it is solid opener. Over and over, I would even give that's a solid closer as well. Is it top five? No. But it is still a solid closer.
I mean, it's like
Uh,
not even top 10. I'm assuming at this point.
eh,
Probably a safe assumption.
it's after listening to Heaven and Hell, I will say this one for me was a little bit of a letdown. Doesn't
Oh,
mean it's bad.
it's not
Just
your it's not your number two, huh?
no, it's not my number two.
Are you done? Are you done with Mob Rules?
Yeah, I think I've said everything I need to say on this one.
All right. Well, I have one question, or not even a question. Oh, well, yeah, it is a question.
For whom?
The general audience. What was the Ramones' 10th record?
It's one after Animal Boy.
That was like Brain Drain, right?
I think so.
Because you say there's only 5 things you can trust. There's only 6 things, 7 things you can trust. I'm sorry. You pick up a Ramones record and you can trust it no matter what. No matter if it's Adios Amigos.
Halfway to Sanity.
There you go. Point proven. You can
Solid
trust it.
album, yeah.
You can pick it
Yeah.
up and you can trust it. After Black Sabbath, you can't trust them past album 8.
Bold statement.
I would clarify that by saying, I mean, yeah, everybody knows Ozzy is the singer in Black Sabbath. But even without Ozzy, they still put out good albums. It might not be for you.
It's still, let's say Tony Iommi's still shredding a guitar.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it takes more than just Tommy to make an album. And not having Bill that kind of made sense now. I didn't know that when I wrote my notes, but that kind of makes sense. The only song on Mob Rules where the drums stood out was the closing track.
Well, you'll be happy to know that Bill comes back for the next album, but Dio doesn't.
Well, I am excited for the next one, and that is 2 pluses right there. All right, so I got to guess this one. I think Bill might have it number 8.
That will be incorrect. Lower.
Number 10?
Yeah.
Oh, you like that jazz metal now, huh?
What?
Like
It's
that jazz metal now, huh? All right. Tim. Same place?
No, but close.
You don't like it
That
more
is
than
correct.
pissing on a building.
That is correct.
I agree with you. I think it's number 9. I'll put it right there. I think it's better than Heaven and Hell. I think Dio's better. I think Tommy is doing better, more interesting shit on this record. The drums kind of suck. Or Tony, I think the drums kind of suck compared to the first one. And the first one has a better closing track. But overall, Mob Rules, I think the opening track was better. Fuck Neon Nights. Country Girls fucking kicks ass. Yeah, I'll put it number 9.
Okay.
Color Code Tell All.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, it's gonna say a whole lot.
And really, moving forward from here is where it's going to get real interesting.
Yeah, is it because who was the third singer in Black Sabbath?
That's a great question.
Because that's the thing. Because I know it's not Ozzy back, and you just said Dio left. I'm like, who the hell else sang in Black Sabbath?
Well,
probably someone probably like not as good as Ozzy, but better than Dio is where I'm guessing.
What?
We're going to get Ian Gillan from Deep Purple.
Point proven.
I mean, I wouldn't say Ian's worse than Dio. I wouldn't say he's better than Dio either. It's a different voice. It's a different vocal tone.
Yeah, I mean, you do like that like high-pitched 80s like Def Leppard, Poison bullshit.
Well, no,
like I understand. That's cool. That's not my jive. I don't jive with that shit.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we're about to enter Purple Sabbath.
Oh.
Which, God, I don't know how that's going to mix with Tony Iommi.
It's going to be fun. I promise.
Oh, God.
That album cover's more fucking... That's cooler than the last 2 album covers. Maybe the last 5 or 6 album covers.
This is universally hailed as one of the worst metal album covers of all time.
Really? That's fucking cool, dude. That's cool as shit. I gotta get a better image though. It's fuzzy and it's got this Amazon logo on it.
No, that's exactly how it came.
It did not have no Amazon logo in 1983.
There's a song on here about Sharon.
Wait.
Yeah, I gotta fix all that.
Let's see, because I'm looking like, wait a minute, isn't that what we just?
Oh,
that's wrong.
I
can get a song about Sharon.
Bill saw it. I got
the Sharon Osbourne.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Who originally was Sharon Arden, daughter of Don Arden, who manages Black Sabbath at this point. So yeah.
Oh boy. I bet that was almost a love song.
It's a shame you didn't have the song list up because you would know exactly which one it is.
Yeah, I had fucking
stole my money.
Copy paste right there. That will be fixed next week when we hit Sabbath Sunday, where we talk about the fucking Devil Reborn or the fucking whatever it's called.
Born Again.
Stick around for that. Sabbath Sunday. Continue rolling on. Let us know your rankings down below. Shout out Herp Alert because I know you're watching this. Sign up for our Patreon or Discord. Come hang out with us. We talk about this shit all day, every day.
Yeah.
You could talk with us too. Be safe. Make good decisions.
And sab the fuck out.
Sab the fuck out on the first 5 Sabbath records.
6. And then you go a little woo, and then a little whoop, 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 and then it's all, and then you're ready to go again.